Welcome to Vision IAG. As in the part of our regular Microsoft Excel course, so in the last classes we discussed some of the important functions in MS Excel like sumif, sumifs, etc. And they are the basic sum functions. In this session we are going to discuss about somewhat advanced sum function, which are very useful to prepare the reports in simplest manner. So today we are going to discuss about the three sum functions. They are the SumProduct, Sumsq and DSum. So these three are very important and somewhat advanced functions. And these are available in latest versions only. In old versions you may not find these three options, right? So let us discuss about what is the use of these functions and how to execute them in MS Excel. Coming to the first one, it's a SumProduct. So actually SumProduct is a single function, but it can perform the two different operations. So as we know, the product function is used to multiply the objects in the given range. So SumProduct, this can perform the two operations. Number one is a multiplication, number two is addition. But both are executed and in a singular form. So it will not perform the product operator individually and not perform the sum operation also individually. So it can perform both the sum and the product in one particular task. So the main use of the SumProduct is it can find the product of the two numbers in the particular range, and at last it also find out the sum of all produced values and get the total amount or total produced values. Okay, so if you observe the procedure, how it executes, the SumProduct can perform the two operations as we discussed now. It's calculate the product first, then adds all the product totals and brings only one result. That is the total of all products. Okay, it will execute the sum operation after multiplication of the related cells, means which are we entered in the range. The related cells by taking the ranges as an array. So if you find the syntax, it appears like this: SumProduct, array 1, array 2. Likewise, we can give any number of arrays. Let's see on one example. So here is a simple data set of product, unit sold and unit price. So in above example, the SumProduct firstly finds the product wise amount but not displays product wise, right? So just it calculates the product wise amount by multiplying that each product cost with its price, right? So then it adds all the products, means all the multiplied values which are produced by the multiplying the unit price and unit sold. So let's see, the SumProduct is given like this: B2 colon B4. Suppose unit sold is typed in B2 and it is in B3, and 80 number, that's mean tablet unit sold in B4. And in case of the price, suppose the unit price of the 1200 typed in the C2 and 800 in C3 and 500 in C4. So these are the related numbers. So B2 to B4, C2 to C4 we given as the ranges of the two arrays. So here the SumProduct firstly find out the multiplication of these two numbers, means B2 into C2, then after B3 into C3, then finally B4 into C4. And the product is used to sum. So it means each array multiplies with the same row array of the other column. So means here 100 is 100, 150, 80 is in one array, 1200, 800, 500 is in another array. So each item of array is multiplies with the same row value of another array. Okay, so in this example, B2 into C2, B3 into C3, B4 into C4. So like that it calculates. And later, if you find there 100 into 1200 plus 150 into 800 plus 80 into 500. So these three are multiplies and the result. So 100 into 1200 is nothing but 1,20,000 plus 150 into 800 is also 1,20,000 plus 80 into 500 is nothing but 40,000. So it multiplies these three values, 1,20,000 plus 1,20,000 plus 40,000 together produce the 2,80,000. This is the answer provided by the sum product. Means it just first finds the product of the matching values of two arrays. Then it finds the sum of the all products to provide the result to us. Okay, so this is especially used in various analysis like product analysis, sales analysis, economic analysis, like that. We can use the function directly to find out the total value without multiplying each and every individual products details. Okay, so this is one of the function in Microsoft Excel which is very useful, and it saves a lot of time. So suppose here we have a data set of a product, unit sold, and price of the unit. So actually the long process is, regular process is to find out the total amount of these all products. We have to identify first unit-wise amounts like unit sold into unit price. Then we have to update it to the end of the table or data set. Later we have to identify the sum of the all products. This is nothing but the product, or in this case we may call as amount. Okay, this amount nothing but it is the product of these two cells, right? So the total product is this much, 60,26,750. If you want to execute directly the total amount of these all products, no need to create a new column and no need to perform that individual product identification of the individual products, and no need to do sum again. So these works or these steps are justly we can skip if you use the sum product option directly. If you want the total amount in somewhere in the sheet or in any other related books, so just you use equals to sum product, sum product, and give the first array, means unit sold or first value, then put a comma, give the second list of range, is simply called as second array, or if required you can give any number of arrays like this. So but we have only two arrays, we have to multiple these two columns only or two sections only. So then close it. So if required you can add more arrays, right? So then when you press enter you can find the same answer, 60,26,750. So the amount is matched, the total amount is matched directly. So see, these all steps are unnecessary if you want to find exact total amount only, right? Of course, if you want to show the product wise amount, you need to perform these all operations. But in some case, in some financial analysis or some particular analysis, many times we need to take the total amount. Suppose if you want to find out the average values, that means average income of all products. So then you have to identify the total by number of products, right? Or number of transactions like this. So to find that you can directly perform sum product by number of items. Number of items are here. You can use a count function, count A. So the count A function returns the number of values, number of items in the particular range. So this is the average. 12,05,350 is the average amount. Okay. So like this, if you want to analyze or if you want to find out some special information, sometimes you need to work with the total value without taking the individual items, amounts or individual items data, right? So in this situation, you can use the SumProduct. So here is another option also provided in the SumProduct, that is SumProduct with the criteria. We can also use some criteria using MS Excel's SumProduct word. So the SumProduct also supports the criteria. We can use it for executing the total value of specified product or specified item. So it provided like this, SumProduct and array1 equals to value. Means where the value are provided or names are provided. So you take the array also. So then use the asterisk symbol, means into symbol. Then take that array2 and array3 as it is. Okay. So array2 and array3 as it is. So there is no difference. You can take any number of arrays as per your requirement. Right? So this is the SumProduct using the criteria. Let us see. So without taking this product details, we can directly execute it. So just add this array. Okay. Then you have to group them. You have to group each and everything, right? And use asterisk symbol instead of commas. No, don't use the commas here, right? So then close it. But here you have to provide one condition so that it equals to, you select one of this cell there. So this is the condition. So which product you type it in this particular cell, that product's total value will be calculated here, right? 0. And suppose there is no duplicate values, means repeated values. Suppose if you have the repeated, then we can easily understand this concept. I'm inserting some more rows. And now, yes, we have this cell. This is our criteria cell. We have to type the name here. So based on that name, it will give that particular information. If you type one name here, laptop, so then you can find the total of laptops. So this is the amount. 28,50,000 is the total amount of laptops. So that is the laptop product total. The sum of all the products of the laptop. So likewise, we can specify any name here. So based on that particular criteria, we can find the total of that particular product. So in this situation, what happened actually here? So it find out the phone numbers. That's mean total phones first. So that is a 50 into 12,500. Later again 25 into same amount. And where the phones, only 2 phones are there. Okay, so this matching criteria. And later it perform the product operation. Okay, so then after it executed the sum of the products. Yeah, here is the difference. The data is not matched because in the function range we selected only up to A6. So just extend it to the A11. And as the same for the B values also, instead of the B6, use till B11, and here also C11. So we added the new rows, so that accordingly we have to specify the new range, right? So now you can find here. This is the function. Now observe here. 28,12,500. 28,12,500. So this is the amount of the phones. So by executing these all steps, we can skip if you use the SumProduct option. So like that, we can use the sum product directly, or we can also use the sum product with a criteria or the condition to display only the specified products information, right? So this is about the sum product, right? So it is used in many cases, especially in analyzing or any type of analyzing, that's maybe statistical or especially financial and marketing analysis, sales analysis. So in that situation, we may regularly use this sum product option. Okay, so the main use, how it is used means it finds the product and then it also finds the sum of the all products, right? So this is about sum product. And coming to the next one is Sumsq. SQ stands for the square, sum square. This is used to identify the square of given number and then it sums all the squares. Okay, so first it finds the square value of all the values in the range and then it finds out the sum of that square values. Okay, so the syntax is very simple. We can use the Sumsq and we have to provide the range of square. That's mean which we want to find out the sum square. Right, value 1, value 2, like that we can give any number of columns, but all columns total sum will be presented in one cell only. So if you want to find out separate cell numbers or separate column values in separate Sumsq function, if you want to find out the values of one particular range in one particular place, then you have to give only one value range or one column range, right? Or of course you can also execute the row range. This is the Sumsq. So here I provided some even numbers and some odd numbers. Of course, you can use any number of values there. Just for example, I taken only 5 values at both ends, right? So let us see the long process. First of all, how this executes. Means it finds the square of one particular range. So means suppose even number square. If you want to find out the even number square, manually we have to do like this: 2 into 2, 4 into 4, 6 into 6, 8 into 8, 9 into 9, right? And if you want to find out the odd number square, manually we can use the C2 into C2. So this is the square of that particular number. So squares are generated. Sorry, here 10, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. So these are the odd numbers and these are the even numbers. So take these values. And if you want to find out the sum of these all squares and also sum of these all squares in separate cells, then you can find the sum like this: alt equals to. So this is the sum of first 5 even numbers squares. And this is the sum of first 5 odd number squares. Okay, and just observe how many steps we taken to find out this sum. So first we created one new column. That's when we inserted new column and we written one function like b2 into b2, like that, for finding the square of that particular number, and we drag it to the remaining cells. Then we perform the sum operator. So these much steps are increased. So if you want exact value of the sum of the one particular range numbers squares, so then you can directly implement Sumsq. So this is the sum. That sum is calculated to find out the square numbers in the range. Then the square values are used in the sum. Okay, then open it and just give the range. That's it. Then close. By pressing enter, you can find the square value of the all numbers in the given range. Just observe the amounts also match, right? So this is even square. And as the same, if you want to find out the sum of odd numbers, so just select the range and close it. That's it. So 165. This is the sum of all squares of the first 5 odd numbers. Or what happens if you give the both cells, both ranges in a same sum option? If you give the both ranges, means even numbers and odd numbers in single Sumsq, then what happens? Just it prints the entire numbers. See, if you add these two numbers, you can find the 385. 220 plus 165. So means it produced the total value of all numbers squares. So this is nothing but the square of first 10 numbers. The sum of squares of first 10 numbers. 1 to 10 numbers. Right? So like that we can find. So this is the sum. If you want to find out the sum of the squares, just observe here, sum of the squares. So then only you can use this function. So likewise, you can find the sum, the squares of any number or any range. Okay. So this is a use of SumSq. DSum full form is database sum. So this is the database function. So it can perform on the database, means it takes more than one column as input, and it supports the criteria or conditions from more than one section. So it is used to execute the sum operation on multiple criteria on the data set. Okay. So normally we have the SumIf and SumIfs. They can perform the single criteria or multi-criteria. But DSum, nothing but it works just like the SumIfs. But what is the main difference between the DSum and SumIfs is, in the SumIfs, at each and every time, if you want to change the criteria, you have to edit the function, right? So you have to edit the function. But here in the DSum, no need to edit the function. So we can specify the blank criteria. So if required, you can just enter your criteria in different cells. That's it, without modifying the function. The function will take the criteria from other cells also and execute that on the data set what you provided. So this is one of the modified and advanced SumIfs, which can perform on only data set, not in individual data, right? So the syntax of the DSum is DSum database. We have to provide the field. The field is very important. So where the calculation values are provided, so that's simply called as a field. So nothing but sum range. Okay, in simple called the sum range. So database is our data, and the field is this is also one of the column in the database, but where the values are provided, which are used to make sum or make total, where we want to find out the totals, right? So then a criteria. So the criteria is not provided in these particular function. So we have to provide the blank cell range where the user is meant to enter the required criteria, right? So and the criteria also column wise. Okay, so how many columns are in the database? So that much criteria we can accept. We can enter in this particular function. This particular DSum function accepts the number of criteria are equals to the number of columns in the database. Okay, so let us see how to do it. So this is about the DSum. And observe here, this is the data set or our database. So you can find any number of columns or any number of rows as per your requirement. So this is purely database analyzing function, right? So this is one of the hotel database. So here the transaction ID is provided, table numbers are provided, item names are provided, quantity is provided, and price and amount, everything is ready, right? So in this situation, suppose if you want to apply the DSum, just you copy the headings of the same table and paste in the same sheet, right? So leaving some cells. So this gap is not compulsory. To find out the visual difference between the data set and criteria set, So there is some gap. If you maintain some gap, it's better to identify. Like that only we provided the gap. Otherwise, the gap is not necessary. So here, transaction ID, table name, item name, quantity, price and amount, everything is given. So in the next row, you can find their empty columns. Means these are the columns or the cells provided to enter the criteria. So you can enter the criteria column wise, and that will be affected in that particular function, right? So let us see how to do. Suppose here equals to DSum. So what's the full form of DSum is? It's a database sum, right? And open it. You have to provide the entire database, including all columns and all data. So database is given. Right, put a comma, and field. In which field you want to find out the sum, right? So in quantity, no need to find out the sum, and in price also no need to find the sum. So there is only one thing, that is the amount. So no need to select that entire column. So just you can provide the number of that particular column. Suppose starting from the transaction ID, this is the first column, second column, third column, fourth column, fifth column, and amount is the sixth column. We can enter like this. Or we can also enter the name of the column. But the name should match exactly with this column name. Okay, so this is the column name we provided here. Instead of the column name, we can also enter the column number in this particular data set, starting from 1. Right? I am saying starting from 1 means when many programming languages, in case of arrays are like that, it takes from the 0. But in MS Excel, the starting number takes from the 1 only, not 0. So you can count from the 1. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the sixth column. You can enter 6 or you can enter the entire column name as it is. But no need to select the column, right? So this is the field, clear? And now criteria, where we want to, that's mean from where we take the criteria, where the user will provide the criteria, means this is the criteria section. So just select this entire set along with the headings. Okay, heading and one empty row. Then close it. That's it. So yeah, we have to close here, yes. Instead of comma, just I type a full stop, use comma here. Okay, that's it. So initially it shows the total value, total amount, 1905 rupees. The total amount was printed here. So because there is no criteria is provided in any one of the column, right? Suppose if you want to find out the price, the total amount where the price greater than some value, suppose greater than 40. Okay, so the total is 720. Greater than 40 means all the products where the price is greater than 40, means 30, 35 and only that 30 and 35. Yes. So greater than 40 means it's not include the 40. If you give the greater than or equals to 40, so then the value again changes. So it's included the all items which price is 30, 35 and 40. So where the price is 30, 35 and 40, so then the amount was calculated and presented as a sum. The amount was calculated and presented in the sum. Right? So like this. And suppose if you want to find out how much amount we gain by one particular item. Suppose vada is there. Just provide the name of the vada. So 455 rupees. Right? So the amount automatically calculated by providing the name. Right? And table number. So suppose table number 7. So in table number 7, how many orders are taken for vada? That's mean how much amount we collected from table 7 for particular item. Vada is 210 rupees we collected for item vada from the table 7. So like that we can analyze based on the multi conditions, multi criteria. So transaction ID base also we can find what is the amount of this particular transaction. Okay, so let's remove it. Find out any transaction number. So in 1017 transaction ID, the amount is 120. See there, amount is 120. Okay, so like that, by entering the transaction ID, we can find that particular amount also. So especially the sum is executed in these particular values. So it includes the only amount values in the sum and based on the various conditions. If there is no condition provided, so it displays the entire amount, means total amount. So here I'm changing the field. Instead of the name, I'm entering the cell number. Then also we can execute same. Okay. So this is the DSum function, database sum. So database sum is one of the advanced sum function, and it is very used in analyzing purpose. So once you create the DSum in your table or in your sheet, so you can take any type of report on any type of criteria by applying on the data. This is about the DSum option. So in coming classes, we will discuss some more functions of MS Excel. Please subscribe and share the video with your friends. Thank you.